I told you that being a complete beginner with $0 is actually your biggest advantage to getting to 10K per month? See, most people have this belief that you need tons of experience, you need thousands of dollars in capital, and you need some revolutionary new idea in order to even be profitable in business. And this is the reason why most people never even start. But after helping tons of complete beginners reach a 5-figure per month income, I've noticed one counterintuitive truth. And that's that the businesses who scale the fastest are actually the ones who have no prior experience. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact blueprint that's worked for me time and time again when it comes to building profitable income streams from scratch, even if you have $0 right now and you want to take advantage of being a one-person business. But who am I and why am I even qualified to speak about it? Well, just 3 years ago, I was actually working 3 different jobs at once, barely even making ends meet and being able to pay for my rent every month. Then I started a one-person business and generated over 10K per month in my first year. And I've been able to scale my way to over $1 million per year in my current business. And for full transparency, I'm no longer working solo. I have about a dozen different employees that work with me on this $1 million business. The biggest thing that helped me was I stopped following all the typical advice when it comes to making money or building a business. They say you need some complex funnel, some fancy website, or these revolutionary products that are going to change the world. Instead, I discovered something that most gurus would never tell you that's actually the key to you building a one-person business in this economy of 2025. Because the truth is that most successful one-person businesses don't sell products, they instead create solutions. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you some one-person business models that you can start today with $0. And no, this isn't going to be one of those videos where I say, oh, dropshipping is the best, and here are 5 different ways to start and become profitable with dropshipping. I'm actually going to take a look at different business models and pick which one is right for you, because there is no one size fits all when it comes to picking your business model. But first, we have to understand the huge opportunity when it comes to one-person businesses and why they're going to dominate the market in 2025. So think of your traditional business as a massive cargo ship. It's slow to turn, it's expensive to operate, and you have a ton of different people at the helm trying to fight for what's actually right in the right direction for the cargo ship to actually go. This makes them inefficient, overcomplicated, and overall just chaotic, to put it simply. Whereas you can think of a one-person business more like a speedboat. It can change direction in an instant, it's fast, it's easy to operate, and the math is just simple. Lower overhead equals more profits. And one-person businesses are so lucrative because you just get to keep everything you own, whereas other businesses, you might make $100,000 in revenue one month, but how much of that do you even get to keep? The crazy part is that a lot of businesses don't actually get to keep anything. They have to pay and give up profit in order to keep the business running. Now, let me introduce you to the revenue first rule. And this is the exact approach that not only I use to build my business, but most people who are actually building businesses from scratch use. Because the traditional business goes something like this. You first have to gain a bunch of capital and investment. Then you have to set it up. Next, of course, comes marketing, getting people to know about your business. And then finally, you get to maybe get some revenue in the door. Whereas a $0 one-person business gets revenue first. Later, you can start marketing, then you can set up some big systems, and then finally, if you need to scale, you can start investing. Now, of course, this begs the question, well, how do you get paid first? Well, the short answer is that you create value for someone by solving their problems. Think about this for a second. Have you ever had a problem that you just needed to be fixed quickly? Well, you might not be surprised to hear, but people are willing to pay bucket loads of money for their problems that are important to them. And if you think about this in terms of business, there's almost no financial cap to how much money you can eventually make. But it all depends on who you solve the problems for. Picture it like this. Every month you can solve one problem that's worth $100 to 100 people, and you will be making 10K per month, but you'll have the headaches and stress that come with serving 100 different people. Or you could solve one problem for 3 people every single month and charge them $4,000 and make yourself $12,000 in pure profit. And of course, this comes without the hassles of trying to manage 100 different people or 100 different clients, because it shows that who you solve the problems for is almost, if not more important than the problem you're solving itself. As Elon Musk famously said, you get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problems that you are solving. This is reflected in marriage counselors, for example. Some of their prices range from $10,000 up. And this seems like an absolute offensive amount to charge somebody to just be a marriage counselor. I mean, think about it. All you're doing is sitting on the couch with them and helping them fight through their problems and work through their arguments. But think about it from an ROI perspective. A divorce is something that's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyer fees. And of course, the cost of splitting up a family is something you can't even put a price on. So now the equation is this. You paid $10,000 in order to save your family, but also save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars from divorce. And now when you focus on ROI more than cost, you start to uncover more opportunities in business, which brings me to what I call the problem ladder. At the bottom of the problem ladder, you have $10 problems. Now, everybody has these small $10 problems, but the problem is that you, as a one-person business, it's difficult for you to service hundreds or thousands of people, which is why this is just not going to be optimal for you to focus on. Next, we have $1,000 problems, which same thing, but again, in order to get to our goal of 10K per month, we're gonna have to serve 10 different people. And then of course, at the top of the value ladder, you have $10,000 problems. And now when you're working for clients who have $10,000 problems, they don't really care about the cost. All they really care about is the ROI that they get back. And of course, the higher you climb on the problem ladder, the more money you're gonna make and the less work and labor you're gonna have to do, because most likely you're gonna be paid for your skills. So let's look at some one-person business models that you can actually start as soon as today so you even know where to begin. Now, again, I'm not just gonna give you a one-size-fits-all approach. Oh man, this one is the best for everybody, because there is no best business model for everybody. It all really depends on you, who you are, your preferences, and what you want your lifestyle to look like. But it's just like billionaire Mark Cuban says, never invest in a failing industry. Why? Because there are no survivors. For example, you wouldn't want to be a newspaper business or open up a Blockbuster in 2025 where you're selling physical copies of movies. Why? Because nobody's going to be left when they're completely replaced. So what are the largest growing industries in 2025? Well, let's take a look. First up, of course, we have dropshipping. It's the one that everybody talks about, so it has to be covered in this video. And this is the magical business model where all you have to do is buy a bunch of inventory and then sell it. Buy something for $2 and sell it for $4, and then you're gonna make a bunch of money overnight. You're gonna be able to retire your parents and buy Lambos and live in Miami or Dubai, right? So this is what everybody shows you, but of course, this is rarely the case. The truth bomb here is that dropshipping is one of the most attractive business models, not because it's the best, but because it's easiest to convince people that it's the best. Example, there will be gurus out there that only count revenue, meaning they'll say, I made $100,000 this month, and they'll show you the screenshots, and they did make $100,000 this month, but they spent over $150,000 on ads, on products, on shipping. And that's the part that they don't tell you, is that they're showing you revenue when they're not actually making any profit. And also, let's be honest, they make their money from their info products anyways. They make their money showing you how to build a Shopify store and sell e-commerce, and they don't actually make money with e-commerce itself. Not to mention, to even start, you need a large upfront investment. Oftentimes, it's more than 2K, and you're gonna be spending $2,000 before you even know if you're going to make any money back. Not to mention, this model isn't really about solving problems. It's mostly about ripping people off, buying something for 20 bucks and selling it to them for 40. Now, if you want that to be your life, then by all means, I mean, this might be a good option for you. But to me, I want something that's actually fulfilling. And that sounds like the opposite. That sounds like I'd have trouble sleeping at night, because if people can get it cheaper on their own, then they might as well just do that. Now, I understand that this was what most big box stores do. This is what Walmart already does. They buy in bulk at a discount, and then they sell it to you and upsell it. But to me, I don't really feel as though that's something that I can just take passion in and I want to do for the rest of my life. Now, of course, you can, but to me, I personally don't see it as the best option. Maybe for some people, but I don't see it. What else is taking the internet by storm is building a personal brand, and the creator economy is going crazy right now. We have people like Iman Gaji, who is literally teaching you and selling you a course on how to build your own personal brand. He actually calls this monetize. And we also have Alex Hormozi too, who is showing you how to make money by building a community and then building a paid community on top of that and selling that as his software called School. And then of course you have people like Andrew Tate. And now while he's showing you how to make money with things like crypto or dropshipping or other methods, just look at what he's actually using in order to make money. He's making money with his personal brand.
How important do you think building a personal brand is in 2024, 2025 and beyond to growing a business?
So it has to be done at some regard, at some level. You can decide if you want to hide behind a company to protect your personal life, or if you can be the face of your company yourself and suffer. There's advantages and disadvantages to both.
And so the obvious answer is, of course, you want to build your own personal brand so you can start making money, right? Well, the truth is, yeah, you can, but it's probably not. So first of all, you have the algorithm and its constant changes and iterations. I mean, there's no telling if a video will do good or do bad, and most likely you will be struggling and uploading for months and months on end with literally 0 to 10 views to maybe 100 views per video. It's going to be extremely slow growth. And I know this because me starting my own YouTube channel, it took me months and months and months to even start getting viewers. And also, not to mention, if you have no skills or actual talent to start with, which I'm not gonna lie, some people don't, then how do you expect to even get people to watch your videos in the first place? If you're just another person, just like everybody else, then why would people even want to watch you? And now, of course, you can always build a skill and build a personal brand while you're building the skill, but the same thing goes. I mean, is that really the fastest and best way to start making money online and hit 10K per month? Now, don't get me wrong, personal brands make a lot of money. And of course, I have one as well. And I've made thousands and thousands of dollars just from uploading one video that did really well. But was it the fastest way? No, by far it was one of the slowest ways that I've actually made money before in the past. But of course, once you put in that long-term investment, you're now able to make way more money. But what if there was a way to skip most of the toil and labor that comes with building a personal brand, and you can just benefit from a personal brand that's already built? Well, this is where service-based businesses come in that serve businesses. Because the truth is that there are already tons of successful personal brands and businesses out there that have huge problems that you can fix and get paid a premium price for. And of course, just like I said, the people with the big problems don't really care about how much money they pay. They only really care about the ROI. Now, what sort of things can you do to help them? Well, there are thousands of things you can do to help businesses, but let's focus on the top 3. The first one is automations. Now, automations are extremely important to a business because if you can automate a task and pay a software maybe $500 a month to do it, then you don't need to hire somebody for $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 per month to do it. So this easily saves businesses time and also cash. But the problem is that it is extremely technical. I mean, you have to go into programs for programs, softwares that connect to software. It is not easy. I mean, trust me, I spend easily over $10,000 per month just on softwares and have dozens and dozens of them, and they are not the easiest. Not to mention, there is a fair amount of code involved with actually making all of these softwares work together, and it is complicated. So in short, profitable, but not very beginner friendly. Next is sales. You could be a sales rep. So what this looks like is you get hired for businesses and then you take their sales calls. So leads get sent to you, booked on your calendar, you hop on a call with them, and then you close them on the product that you're working for. Now, this one's actually pretty good, and I know a lot of people that are making 6 figures with this. The big glaring downside, though, is that you are tied to a schedule, tied to a calendar. So you can't do whatever you want, whenever you want. That's okay for some people, but to me, that doesn't sound like true freedom. Not to mention, in order to actually be good at this, you have to train for a really long time to be able to take sales calls. Not to mention, it's only really for people who are extremely extroverted and don't mind talking on the phone for hours and hours and hours per day. And lastly, we have marketing. Now, the thing with marketing is that when businesses have a marketing problem, they lose money every single minute of every single day. This is why I believed that marketing was the best way to actually start a one-person business, and that's what I started my one-person business around. Because the thing is, you can't make money if nobody knows that you exist, and that's what marketing does. But with that being said, not all marketing services are created equal. Now, the core of marketing and one of the simplest things to learn, simplest paths to get into marketing is called copywriting. This is what I started, but it's not necessarily something I recommend you start. Let me explain. Copywriting is when you write words for businesses that sell for them, essentially like writing the marketing scripts. So all those emails that you get in your inbox that are promotions, those are written by copywriters. All of the sales pages that you might see on Instagram or YouTube, those are from copywriters. All the ads, the video ads that you see on Instagram and YouTube are also written by copywriters. Think of it this way. Most business models require you to spend some sort of money, whereas copywriting just requires that you write words that make business owners money. Now, while this might sound like the best overall business model so far, it is good, but I wouldn't say that it's the best out there. There's a brand new business model that I would consider copywriting's cousin, and it's helping people generate more money than traditional copywriting ever did. Because while being a copywriter is great, it does come with a few huge drawbacks. The first thing is AI. Now, AI right now isn't the best. You can't replace your copywriter with AI. But there's two main things that are concerning. One is that some business owners are naive to think that they can just replace their copywriters with AI, which they can't really. It's not going to look that good, but they think that they can. Second of all is that while AI might not be the best right now, in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, it might be able to write better than most or a lot of copywriters. Second of all is the low barrier to entry. Anybody can become a copywriter. And while this sounds like a really good thing in the beginning, and it is, while you try to start to scale to 10K per month plus, it's going to be really difficult because the clients that you want are able to outsource their copywriting needs to people who will just do it cheaper. And this can be really frustrating when you're trying to, again, scale your income past 10K per month. But this does mean that copywriting is the best for beginners. Like if you want to make 3K per month, 5K per month, then copywriting 100% in my eyes is the best. But again, if you want to scale past that, 10K per month and more, then there's a new form of copywriting which is going to perform outstandingly better. And the reason it pays so well is because with copywriting, you're only focusing on writing the words. But with the new business model, you are way more focused on actually, like I already talked about, making an ROI. And you are selling results and not just words, which is why it's so attractive to business owners. You can get more clients, but you can also charge them so much higher prices. And while you can think of this new business model as copywriting's cousin, I call it the copy growth partner model. Now, I imagine you've heard of growth operators or these service-based industries or agencies, then this is kind of what being a copy growth partner is related to, except you just start with a simple service that is extremely easy to learn, which is copywriting. And then of course you can dive in headfirst into businesses' complete marketing funnel, and you can revolutionize the whole way that they make money. For example, you can set up email sequences that generate cash 24/7. So whenever a lead opts in, then that business is now going to monetize that lead instead of having them just sit around on their email list. To put it simply, instead of just writing words for people, you are solving expensive problems. And this is the exact time that most gurus would talk about their 997 course. But of course, all of my courses are free right here on YouTube. And the most viral one is actually my free 4-hour course. And in here, I do go over copywriting and show you how to make money with that. But I also show you things like email marketing, funnel design, and exactly how to become a copy growth partner. And in case you're actually wondering if these courses alone have gotten anybody results, well, there are tons of examples from that. People posting in the free communities or in the comments of these videos telling me that this video alone got them their first $2,000 or $3,000 per month client. And this happened in only a few months of the course being out. And of course, the best part is they paid $0 for this information. So if you're a beginner who wants to make money with copywriting and then of course scale to become a copy growth partner, highly recommend those videos, and I'll put them on screen now. These are the same courses that have helped some people get to 10K per month, 12K per month, and $18,000 per month, and they started with these exact courses. But maybe 4 hours is a big commitment for you, so I'll also put the world's shortest copywriting video on screen as well if you want to watch that.